Yeah, my name is Josh, and I am a former senior, just graduated this year, and I go to Lowell. So Lowell High School is like a super old school in SF, and I'm not sure exactly, but it's been around a long time. And like my parents have introduced me to like lots of people, like alumni, just from like way back. So it's been around.
And Lowell already has this perception of being like very academically challenging, and people are like, oh my gosh, are you stressed all the time? And I think it really like varies on the with different people. For me, I was pretty stressed this past year, junior year, which is said to be the hardest year, and I would agree.
So I'd say for the academics, the kind of like the stereotype for Lowell is that it's the academic high school. So everything around there is supposedly like centralized around just that, like studying, doing your homework, like taking those tests. And I would agree that a lot about that stereotype is actually true, whether that's good or bad. And you probably will find yourself like coming into Lowell, it might be a little rough to adjust to the load of work that you get from all your classes and all your teachers. But I think what's also kind of good about Lowell is that they offer you some freedom, some like wiggle room to adjust how many classes and how difficult you want those classes to be, like for yourself. So in that way, it's almost as hard as you want to make it, but students are pretty driven and are willing to like challenge themselves to take those kind of intense classes.
Freshman is like kind of hard, and then sophomore is less, and then it goes up for junior year, and then it goes down for senior year. Lowell is, I think it's the only high school where you can take 7 classes a day, whereas most schools only take 6. And I don't know if it's going to change, but Lowell is also one of the only schools that you see your class every day, all of your classes every day. So you don't have block schedule. So that means on some days you could have 3 tests on the same day. And with that, you could be pretty stressed, especially if you take like 7 super hard ones. So just when you choose your classes, you should do your research to see which classes are easier ones, which classes are hard ones. Subjects could seem hard, but if you have easy teachers, as people say, you could get an A super easily.
Okay, so I think something kind of straight across the board, math teachers are typically pretty challenging. And I think, I don't really want to name any like specific teachers, but I think just math, you should expect your like algebra, your pre-calculus, your geometry, those types of classes to definitely be kind of like the foundation of where like you're gonna need to put in hours. I will say that Miss Park, one of the English teachers, is really good. And yeah, I just say like, yeah, Miss Park was a good teacher. There's also a Miss Park for Korean, and I think they just both teach like really well.
I think because Lowell, you get to choose your teachers, it's good to ask upperclassmen for advice about like which teachers there are, because there are pretty good ones, but sometimes you just get stuck with the less good ones. And don't be afraid if they don't seem super personal. I think I have a pretty good relationship with a couple of my teachers, but I've had 2 teachers that didn't even know my name throughout the entire semester that I was with them. I would say for biology, take Mr. Wenning. Even though he is super hard and I did not get an A in his class, it's possible. Just don't take his AP Bio class if you're taking a bunch of other super hard classes at the same time, which was my mistake, so I couldn't put all my energy into Bio. And so I got a B, but he is a super good teacher. And the other bio teachers, I think they're okay. They're pretty easy A's, but Mr. Wenning, everybody loves him. You're either really scared of him or you really love him. And also one class that I would recommend everybody to take at Lowell is AP Psychology, which you can only take your junior year or senior year, but most of the teachers are good. I had Miss Kwong, and she was really entertaining.
I think Lowell is definitely good at offering lots of extracurriculars and just outside activities. I think actually that is something that's kind of downplayed about it, that people just focus on the academics, but they do offer a lot to kind of balance out all the studying and like homework that you have to finish. So for me personally, I was in a couple clubs and I was a part of drum corps, which is a special unit team for the ROTC program. And I guess one of the major clubs that I was a part of was the peer resources, peer mentoring program. That was definitely something I had a lot of fun doing. And both I think are a good way to kind of establish yourself and as a part of like the Lowell community, like getting to know other people. And I think that's one of the really important parts about those extracurriculars is getting to know people, because it can be kind of easy to get lost in class just focusing on your own path. But when you take that step outside of just like the schooling and you're going to these clubs, you're going to these activities, you kind of like are able to shift your focus and arguably on something a little more important and make some really important connections and a lot of friends.
There are a lot of different sports you can join. I'm not doing a sport, but I'm in a couple of clubs. There are so many clubs at Lowell, like anything you could think of. Pokemon Club, Webtoons Club, Triathlon Club, really anything that sparks your interest. It's good to do clubs because you can like express your interests, but also a lot of people do them because it looks good on your college apps. And a lot of people start their own clubs so that they could have an officer position. And so I'm a part of, I think I'm a part of 2 clubs, and I'm the PR, the public relations for both of them, and I was also on 2 committees for prom. If you are athletic, there's a lot of different sports you can choose. I'm not doing a sport, but there's a lot of like basketball, volleyball, soccer, lacrosse even. Like there's archery club, a lot of that. And if you like music, I'm in choir, and there's an extra thing called chamber choir, which is after school, and you get to do more performances, and it's kind of special, but I'm not doing that. And if you play an instrument, there's like jazz band, along with band and orchestra. But for me, a lot of my after school time goes to drum corps. So I joined drum corps as a freshman because I thought it was cool. They performed at AP, so I was like, whoa, that's so cool. But I found out that you have to join ROTC, which is like kind of, it has this like perception of, oh, if you're an RO, you have to join the army. But I did not want to join the army, but I had to be in it, so I'm in the program. And I would say like the RO program is not bad, even though people think, well, like you have to wear those uniforms, you have to join the army. Like they still teach you like a couple of good things that you can have. Like they teach you first aid, and like finance stuff.
Yeah, so location, I can't like compare too much because I haven't spent like a lot of time at other schools. So I'm not exactly sure like what's accessible to like say Lincoln or Washington high schools, but and for Lowell there is a mall that's nearby Stonestown, and I think that's definitely kind of like the go-to for students to go during their lunch or off blocks, because it is actually open campus. So you can have a class and then your next class is like no class or an off block, so you can just go take a break, go walk to the mall with your friends, and then come back for whatever you have next. I think other than that, there's Lake Merced really close by, which track often runs, and I know Dragon Boat does a lot of practicing there too. But I would say that in terms of location, Lowell is kind of like sort of tucked into the more corner of SF as a whole, closer to like Daly City. So if you wanted to say like head downtown, it'd definitely be more of a time-consuming like journey.
Lowell is only about like a 5 to 7 minute drive from my house, so it's super close to my house. However, I still end up late every morning, and I think it's a pretty convenient location. If you wanted to, you could walk to Stonestown or Lakeshore for lunch and still make it back in time. You also have pretty good access to a number of buses.
What's it, 6 or 7?
Like a 9.
Teachers, I give solid 8.5.
Maybe 7.5 or 8.
Yeah, academics is definitely strong. Like 9.
7 to 8.
Give it a 7. 7.
8 to 8.5.
Coming into high school, you shouldn't worry too much about what other people think. It's really easy to get caught up into that kind of mindset that as I'm going into high school, like I need to kind of change myself and redefine myself. And that's actually something you will be doing. You will be growing a lot as an individual, but what's really important is that you don't, your growth doesn't come from like what others perceive of you. Your growth doesn't come from what the people around you are telling you to become. Rather, it should just come from yourself and what you find that you like, from the friends that you meet, from just like all that you learn. You should be able to grow just from your own heart and just with God too. Nice.
Be strategic when you plan your classes and teachers. Do your research. Think about like how you will feel. Know yourself and what your limits are, so that you can handle the stress when it comes. It's very hard when you're comparing yourself with like other students because you're like, oh, what did you get on that test? Or, oh, what did you get on the SAT? It's very, it's very diminishing when you have a lower score than someone else. But just try to remember that it's just a number and everybody handles things very differently. Even though that is such a hard thing to do. And with joining like clubs and sports, like put yourself out there. Like don't be shy. Don't be afraid to go to those info meetings. Don't be afraid to do something if your friends aren't doing it as well. I think there's so much that you can find, so much of yourself that you can find, and what you enjoy. So, yeah.
Make sure to be in a room in your house with a good Wi-Fi connection for the best quality of video calls.
When you're in a Zoom meeting, remember to mute yourself because we don't want to distract the person who is talking. Until you want to talk, then you unmute yourself.
Hey everybody, make sure to show your face during Zoom calls. It's important that we get to see your beautiful faces.
Hey everyone, quick tip. Remember to just use your real name in the Zoom calls. I don't want to see a SpongeBob and realize he's fake. So yeah, remember to use your real names.
Hey guys, here's another media tip for you. Make sure you find a comfortable and quiet spot, especially if you're going to stay on video for a long time.
Make sure to set a virtual background or have your back to a wall during your Zoom calls. This way, when people look at you when you're talking, they won't get distracted by anything in the background.
Angle your camera around eye level so that you don't have to look too far up or too far down on a video call.
Hey kids, before your Zoom call, make sure your headphones are working and your microphone is working too. And make sure your headphones are plugged in.
Hey everyone, here's a tip for you when you do some worship moves. Make sure you find yourself a very spacious place so that when you dance, you won't bump into anyone. Ah!
Kids, remember, we're probably looking at the screen a lot. So take some breaks and just go outside or look at some trees and look at some green grass. So yeah, just remember to take some breaks, guys. Look away from the screen so you don't hurt your eyes.
During Zoom calls, please try to answer questions using the chat box below to avoid everyone talking at once.
Hi guys, remember to wash your hands, okay? Wash your hands. Get some soap and rub it in and wash your hand.
Hey guys, today's Zoom tip is to look presentable while you're on Zoom, because you don't want to look like this. What's wrong with looking like this? We can all see you, so make sure you get changed and look presentable.
When you're in a Zoom meeting, make sure there are no other distractions around you. You shouldn't be playing video games or watching other YouTube videos while SDC is in session.
To start our worship today, let's say our worship time chant. Ready? It's worship time! Worship time! Let's praise the Lord! Praise the Lord! Praise, praise, praise the Lord!
Hi, my name is Naomi, and the question of the day is, what are the best and worst things about having a smartphone? The best thing about having a smartphone is that you can call or text people in times of need, and the worst things about having a cell phone is that it can have the ability to make you addicted to it. Make sure to type your answer in the chat below.
Welcome back to exercise of the day. It's week 5, day 1. This online summer camp is almost over. I'm gonna miss all of you guys, but let's get today's exercise started. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a little bit hard because it is the last week, so we're gonna finish stronger. Alright, so we're doing jump squats today. Sounds pretty easy. All you do is jump and then go into a squat. Okay, our 10 jump squats start now. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job, guys. Okay, so next you guys got worship, so go have some fun. So this is the end of our daily exercise videos. It was great and fun working out for all of you guys. It was great for me, for Jordan, and for everyone else that made those videos. We had a great time. I hope all of you feel a little healthier, more fit, and well, I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.
Oh,
God is our fortress. Psalm 46 ESV. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear though the earth gives way. Though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage, and the kingdoms totter. He utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our fortress. Come behold the works of the Lord, how he has brought desolations on the earth. He makes war cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and he shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us whole and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey, there's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull
guys, welcome to a very exclusive episode of Jumbo Eats. I'm Jimmy, I'll be your host today, and this is
Darren.
And I'm Stephanie.
Bethany will be my co-host and she'll be bringing up the noodles.
First up, the original fire noodles. This one's already really spicy.
Very spicy.
Alright.
Oh! How's it taste?
Not bad.
Dude, I could eat this all day. Very flavorful.
I feel like I can handle spice pretty well.
Why would you afraid of level 1?
Just gotta be brave.
I feel it. No, it's easy. How would you guys rate it? The spice level.
Spice?
Hotter than hot Cheetos.
Harder than hot Cheetos.
Or because I think it stays longer in your mouth.
My whole mouth is like numbing right now.
I think if I were to rate this from a scale of 1 through 10, it'd be like 4? Yeah, 4.
Alright, next.
We have the corn flavor.
I don't like the smell. It smells really weird.
It smells like tortilla chips.
This is sweet, I like it.
Is this supposed to be spicy?
Yeah, I think so, but I think the corn flavor makes it like sweet.
When it first hits your tongue, it's like sweet. But then the brownies comes later.
It's like it creeps up on you.
I don't think this one's spicy at all.
I can still taste it. But
Yeah, I can still taste this one.
Well, maybe the first one killed my taste buds.
I'll rate it like a good 7. Spice level 7.
But I don't know if it's like building on from last time.
I think it's building on for sure.
I don't know if I like this flavor.
It tastes a little weird. I'm okay. Not dying yet. I'm okay.
Up next we have
Carbonara.
You're gonna sweat.
Is that face all red?
Yeah, it's pretty red. Oh, your face definitely
Yeah,
red.
your face is really red. Just tastes like cheese.
Right, it's good.
It's not spicy.
Yeah, I don't think it's. Wait. I think Steph over here is dying. We're going for no water break. Let's go.
Can't really tell if it's spicy because my mouth is like already kind of numb.
This is like a 5 to me. I think the corn was spicier.
For sure.
Steph.
Are you ready for the next one? Ready. Black. Go.
This one's spicy.
I think it just tastes like regular jajangmyeon, but with like just a little bit of like spice in it.
They're not too spicy.
Spice level, this is easy. I'll give it 1 out of 10.
I don't think this one's spicy.
Are you ready for
Yeah.
the last
Are
one?
we down to the grand finale?
2 times spicy.
Based off of the first 2, I don't think it'll be that bad. 2 times of those should be tolerable.
How about Steph?
I'm a little nervy, not gonna lie.
Nervy.
How would you do it?
I mean, it's slight work. It's easy. I'll finish it. Watch. I'll finish it.
Alright, are you ready? How does it feel? Any sweat yet?
This is a little spicy.
This one's a lot worse.
I think she's dying too.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to sweat a little bit now.
I'm sweating. Hold on, I'll be back.
Yeah, I need some water breaks. I can't feel my tongue. I feel like my tongue like shaking a little bit. I feel some tears coming out.
It's just gonna make it worse. It's gonna make it worse.
We got 2 more of these packs. I mean, these bowls. We're gonna give it to some people and have them taste test it.
My tongue hurts.
My brain's like squeezing. Yeah, I don't think I can do this anymore. Dude, I got it on my phone. Oh, my lip now is burning. Right here.
It's not spicy. I don't feel anything anymore.
I'm getting full too. This was a bad idea.
Yeah, it was.
Would you guys like to try some? Comment on the right.
Well, Jared finished here. Steph is done. Jimmy's done. Good job, guys. So this is the spiciest you've ever had?
Yeah.
Yes. Would you ever eat this again?
No. Fun with other people? Yeah, but not on my own time.
Just for you kids, I would do it. This is above a 10. Yeah, I think it's a 10 for all of us. We have 2 more left, so we're gonna give it to Anson and 1 more person. Do you guys want to see Trinity do it?
Yeah.
Trin! Come on, Trin. You ready? Alright, so we have some special people to come test out the 2 times spicy. Alright, have at it, y'all. Alright, how would you guys rate it overall? Starting from 1 through 10.
12.
Trin is 10. I've got some special guests. Leah from Big Eats, Brian Hill from KDG. They're gonna test out the 2 times spicy. Have at it.
Nothing.
I think the flavor of the 1 times is better. For the 2 times, the spiciness, it's harder.
Bro, I feel in my throat. What the heck? Look at hair coming out. I feel it in my throat. That was spicy.
Yeah, how would you rate this? Like a 6 or 7?
After like 5 bites in, I'm like funny.
Next, we have a very special guest, our very own admin teams, Anson Tran.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Tran Tries. So first off, I'm gonna try the carbonara. And this one is one of my favorites because of the noodle texture, but let's dig in. Alright. I hope it's not spicy. So, how's the SDC been with you guys? For me, it's been pretty good. I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Spice level, maybe a 3. Next one, we'll have jjajangmyeon. And jjajangmyeon is black bean noodle, but this one is fired, so it's gonna be spicy. Honestly, it's not as bad because I feel like the black bean paste kind of helps with the spice.
Is this your lunch, Anson?
Out of 10 flavor, I'd give it a 7. Spice, maybe a 3. Finally, we have the spicy ×2 flavor. I hope the 2 times spicy lives up to its name. First bite, not bad. Let's try the rest of it. I think I'm eating too fast, I might have hiccups. But the spice, it's not too crazy.
Anson, remember when we went, wait, did I go to get ghost pepper wings with you?
Yes, we did.
How was the ghost pepper?
I feel like the ghost pepper wings were a little more spicy than this one. For spicy ×2, I'd give the flavor rating like a 6 because I feel it. I definitely feel it more than the other ones. But the spice level, I'll give it a 6. Like it's manageable, but it's not too overwhelming.
That's it for a very exclusive video of Jumbo Eats.
The Lord is my shepherd, a psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me. In the presence of my enemies, you anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
I lay my life down at your feet. You're the only one I need. I turn to you and you are always there. In troubled times it's you I see. I put you first.